Hello everybody, welcome back to the show. You're here with me, Ben, and today, that's right, I'm going to be explaining to you guys how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I've played this game for a very long time and I've had some competitive success, so I think I can explain it quite well. So, roll the intro. So what is the aim of Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, to win, there's several ways to do so. The main way is each player has 8,000 life points at the start of a game. So the aim is to whoever gets the other person's life points to 0 first wins. Alternatively, whoever's deck runs out of cards first loses. And then a third way to win a game of Yu-Gi-Oh is to have all 5 pieces of Exodia in your hand. So, over here on the right is the deck zone where you'll place your deck. Now your deck can be made of a minimum of 40 cards and a maximum of 60 cards. And then your extra deck, which is your super awesome chocolatey fudge kill monsters, goes in the extra deck zone, which is over here. We'll come back to that in a different video. Now other zones that we'll be coming back to are the 2 pendulum zones here and here, which are also spell card zones, spell and trap card zones. We'll get more into that in a different video. And then you also would have extra monster zones above these 2 zones here. We'll come back to that though later. We're just going to talk about the basics today. And here there is a field spell zone and your graveyard over here. Now your graveyard is where your monsters go when they're defeated in battle. So how does an actual duel work? Well, each player starts off with 5 cards in their hand. Then it's determined who goes first or second. Now, they would determine this with a dice roll, rock, paper, scissors, however they wanted to. Then the player who goes first does not get to draw a card. However, you will get to draw a card every turn after. So I'll just draw one now. So that would be the draw phase of the turn. Then from the draw phase of the turn, we would go to the standby phase. Now, the standby phase is just some effects activate during it. You can activate traps during it, that type of thing. Then it moves on to main phase 1. Now, that's where you'd use your 1 normal summon, set some spells, set some traps, use spells, activate effects, special summons, that type of thing. Then you'd move on to the battle phase. Now, this you can't attack on your first turn, so there wouldn't be a battle, like the first turn of the duel. So there wouldn't be a battle phase during the first turn. However, every other turn there can be a battle phase, and I'll explain how that works now. How the battle phase works is you can make attacks using the monsters you have on the field. Now, to make attacks, you need to know that on every single Yu-Gi-Oh monster card, there is an attack and defense located at the bottom of the card. Now, how the battle phase works is if I attack using my Blue Eyes White Dragon here, it has 3,000 attack. And if I'm attacking my opponent's monster, Le Jin, the Mystical Genie of the Lamp, I think it's called, it has 1,800 attack. So the difference between their attacks is dealt to my opponent as damage from his 8,000 life points, and his card is sent to the grave. Now, however, if a card is in defense mode, like here when his Le Jin was attacking my monster in defense position the turn before, I take no battle damage, but the card is still sent to the grave. Then after the battle phase, it moves on to main phase 2. So if you didn't normal summon, you can normal summon there. You can set more spells and traps, activate special effects, special summon monsters from your extra deck, that type of thing. And from the main phase 2, it moves on to the end phase, where that's kind of like the standby phase. There's some effects that activate during it. You can activate traps and stuff in response to it and that type of thing. And then it moves on to your opponent's turn. And that works the exact same way as your turn does. Okay, so we'll talk about the different types of cards now. So in Yu-Gi-Oh, there are 3 main types of cards. Your monster cards, which look like this. Your spell cards, which look like this. And your trap cards. Now, I'll start with spell cards and trap cards first. Spell and trap cards go in these 5 zones down here, and then you also have your field spell zone up in the top left here. Now, how these work are trap cards have to be set like face down on one of the 5 zones, and then they're not able to be activated until the following turn, or during your opponent's turn. So if I place this card here, I can't activate it during my turn. I have to wait until I end my turn to be able to activate it. Spell cards, on the other hand, you're able to just play them. If you wanted to play a spell card during your opponent's turn, you would need a spell card with this little lightning symbol here. And to play it during your opponent's turn, you have to set it face down on the field first. And then during their turn, you'd flip it over. And the same with the trap card, you'd flip it over to activate it. That's all you need to know about spell and trap cards for today. Now we're going to talk about monsters. Now, monsters, there are effect monsters like this, where they have an effect down here and they do something. And there are non-effect monsters, which look like our good old friend Blue Eyes White Dragon, where they just have a card description on them. So it doesn't actually do anything. Now, to play a monster, you get 1 normal summon every single turn. Now, to normal summon a monster, to just play it, it has to be level 4 or below. So my level 3 Ghost Ogre, which is in Spanish, I'm just after realizing, I can just play it like that. Now, when you play it, you can either play it in face-up attack position, like that, or you can place it in face-down defense position, or set it. You can also flip summon it, so the turn after I've set it, I can flip it into face-up attack position. And then for monsters who are level 5 and 6.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I just had to go and get a level 5 or 6 monster. So this is my level 5 Shaddoll Beast. Now, if I had played my Ghost Ogre, my level 3 Ghost Ogre last turn, and my opponent hadn't destroyed it in battle this turn, or during their turn, I could then tribute them, so my Ghost Ogre would go to the grave, and I would normal summon my Shaddoll Beast. That's how a level 5 or 6 monster is summoned. Now, for a level 7 and above monster, you need 2 monsters on the field, and you have to tribute both of them. So to bring out my big chocolatey fudgy Blue Eyes White Dragon, I would need to tribute both of those monsters. As with everything in this game, there are exceptions. Some cards require more than 2 tributes to summon. For example, the 3 most prominent ones are the 3 Egyptian god cards. They require 3 tributes to summon each. Certain cards will have it written on them when they do need more than 2 tributes. So if you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want more of these videos, make sure to comment down below. I loved this game, and I will gladly make more. And if you're new, make sure to smash that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers still, and I would like to hit it sometime soon. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.